I always say the marijuana industry is selling addiction for profit, and our kids really get suckered into that, and they don't understand they're being preyed upon by a massive industry.
This is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
And I feel really passionate about, pulling the curtain back on that.
And it's a hard battle to fight as a parent when you have people much bigger saying it's not a big deal.
The marijuana industry is really good at, it's just like the tobacco industry and the alcohol industry is really good at marketing their product. And they're like, we don't market it to the youth. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why you have Jolly Rancher edibles.
Why else would you make candy bars and cookies and all the things that we identify with our youth infused with marijuana?
Just saw a girl who ate the full bag of candies and had to go to the ICU. I mean, she had what's called a GCS of 3, meaning she was completely unresponsive. We couldn't wake her up no matter what we did, and she had to go to the ICU until several days later she woke up and could go home.
That's the way our children are viewed, is a paycheck.
It comes down to greed. People do not care about other people getting medicine or recreational marijuana. They care about money.
For them, it's money. They don't care, and that was the discussions we would have with my son is, you think they're going to be at your funeral if something happens? If something were to happen to you, will they be there? And...
Were they at your son's funeral?
No.
I mean, look at our industry that even has been set up to inspect this. Our Marijuana Enforcement Division, our oversight from Department of Revenue and Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, we've had inspectors in all of those divisions go and work for the marijuana industry, because they're getting sucked into the narrative and then saying, forget inspecting, I'm going in for the money. So what kind of standard do you have that you're holding to if your inspectors are going, heck yes, I'm all in?
Everyone can say that it doesn't matter what laws are in place as long as people are, doing it to themselves or not impacting others. But once it's starting to hit, our roadways and things like that, that impacts all of us.
Impairment is subjective to every human being. Even alcohol laws are subjective. But we finally lost enough kids on our roadways that Mothers Against Drunk Driving said enough, and were instrumental in forcing impairment standards. Well, that's not happening with pot.
For law enforcement, they've given us no bright lines to enforce it. So we are yet to have an instrument that measures intoxication.
You see people vaping in their cars. You don't know what's in the e-cigarette. We all know that THC cartridges are widely available to go in those things.
Do you want your bus drivers? Do you want your truck drivers? Do you want your doctors? Do you want these people high when they're operating on you or they're taking your kids back and forth to school?
When I go now and I ask them, how many of your friends think it's safer to drive with marijuana than alcohol? All the hands go up. And I don't care if I'm talking to freshmen, juniors, seniors, sophomore, whatever they are, hands go up.
When I see those numbers increasing and the number of drivers that were positive for marijuana involved in these traffic fatalities increased 66% just since legalization occurred in Colorado, that's definitely something of note that I pay attention to.